Successes and failures in the garden. I want to talk a little bit about what worked and what didn't work so well for us this year. So one of the failures in our garden this year is the hibiscus, the rose of Sharon. And you can see some of these blooms are looking really good. But if I come around to this side, the middle of this shrub has, I'm not actually sure what's going on. At first we thought maybe the center had died, but as the season went on, it was clear that it had some growth, but miniaturized. What we'll do, since the rest of this plant is looking pretty good, one of the things that we're gonna do is we'll see how this fares next spring and see how it does next year. And from there, we'll make a plan. One of the things that worked well was taking down the crabapple tree in the front yard. It was half dead and pretty much an eyesore. And we've got other ideas on how we want to use that space. So as much as we don't like taking things out, it was time for it to go. So we took it down, and now we have a blank canvas to continue to work on. And so we're also excited for what we can do with this space. One of the failures in the garden, cabbage. And the cabbage got decimated this year by caterpillars. Despite the fact that we did put insect netting over the bed, some caterpillars still got in and the cabbages didn't stand a chance. It's really hard to grow brassicas, cabbages, cauliflower, that sort of thing without spraying them. And we don't do any spraying in our garden, so we do have to contend with the caterpillars. And this year, they beat us out. We're not gonna try to grow them in a tunnel over winter because we have tried that in the past and still had problems with caterpillars. So we'll continue to work on ways to grow cabbages without having to spray for pests. One of our garden successes this year, self-sowing winter greens. So over the winter, we grew a number of greens, and some of them we allowed to go to seed in the spring, and they have self-sown. So we're not gonna have to plant seeds for our winter vegetables this year. We can just put the tents over exactly where they are. They're already coming up, so self-seeding winter greens is a definite success. We like to plant annual flowers alongside our vegetables in the beds, but one of the mistakes we made was in our selection of annuals. And some of the annuals self-seeded and came back really, really well, unfortunately. So the borage and the nicotiana that we had planted last year went to seed, and a lot of it came back. So we had to contend with that, and especially in the spring as we were trying to get new seedlings and plant new seeds into the garden beds. So going forward, we're gonna pay attention to what annuals that we can plant that even if they self-seed, don't stand a great chance of coming back. Instead, for annuals, we will grow things like nasturtium, morning glory, cosmos. These annuals will go to seed, but they are unlikely to come back in the garden next year. In the vegetable bed, planting everything close together and letting them do their thing, that was a big success. We are getting a great crop of everything that we've planted. The tomatoes, the peppers, zucchini, everything is growing really well. So we're really pleased, and that is a big success for this year. So thank you for joining me on this quick overview of some of our garden successes and failures. We would love to hear your experiences. Let us know what worked well and maybe what didn't work so well in the garden. And as always, if you've got any questions, leave those down below in the comments, and I'd be happy to help answer. Until next time, thanks, and I'll see you in the garden. Hi, it's Dan from the Frog Pond Veg Patch. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. That'll help us create new content to share with you. And while you're here, check out this next video I have lined up for you. And don't forget to like and subscribe. That's the best way to help us out on this channel.